Welcome to InnerAlignment. There is a space before thought, before memory organizes itself into identity, before your name, your profession, your successes, your failures, your stories, your wounds. A space that exists prior to conditioning, prior to education, prior even to language. Most people never notice it. They are already thinking before they realize they are alive. But if you pause just for a moment, you will sense it. A silent interval, a gap, a subtle presence that is not doing, not reacting, simply aware. The ancient explorers of consciousness did not begin with belief. They began with observation. They asked a dangerous question. What if the way we experience reality is not reality itself, but our interaction with it? And instead of arguing philosophy, they experimented. With breath, with attention, with stillness, with emotion, with intention. They refined their inner instrument the way a scientist calibrates a device, patiently, precisely, repeatedly. And what they discovered was not fantasy. It was architecture. They saw that what we call world is filtered through perception. That perception is colored by memory. That memory is reinforced by repetition. That repetition becomes identity, and identity becomes destiny. Not through fate, but through unconscious pattern. As within, so without. Was not poetry, it was mechanics. Today, when physicists speak of probability fields, when they describe matter not as solid certainty, but as fluctuating potential, they are not endorsing mysticism. They are describing observation at a deeper resolution. What appears stable at the human scale dissolves into dynamic interaction at the quantum scale. Reality is not a rigid block of fixed outcomes. It is an unfolding field of possibilities influenced by interaction. Now pause here, carefully. This does not mean your thoughts magically command atoms. It means your participation matters. Your nervous system is not a passive spectator. It is an active interface. Your perception filters data. Your emotional baseline biases interpretation. Your attention determines what becomes amplified. In neuroscience, repeated thought strengthens neural pathways. In physiology, repeated emotion conditions hormonal responses. In psychology, repeated narrative reinforces belief. You are literally wiring your internal architecture through repetition. And here lies the bridge between mystic exploration and modern research. When ancient practitioners insisted on disciplined attention, they were preventing unconscious wiring. When they emphasized breath regulation, they were stabilizing the autonomic nervous system. When they spoke of prana, they were describing experiential energy flow long before bioelectric language existed. When the breath slows, the heart rhythm changes. When the heart rhythm stabilizes, the brain shifts patterns. When brain patterns shift, perception alters. When perception alters, behavior changes. When behavior changes, outcomes shift. Not magic, mechanism. Modern imaging shows that focused meditation alters neural networks. Visualization activates motor cortex regions similar to physical practice. Elevated emotional states modify heart coherence patterns. Gratitude reduces stress hormones. Chronic fear elevates cortisol and narrows cognition. These are measurable phenomena. And now overlay this with inner teachings that emphasized intention, elevated emotion, and alignment of thought and feeling. You begin to see convergence. Most people attempt to manifest outcomes while internally fragmented. They declare success but rehearse doubt. They visualize abundance but emotionally dwell in scarcity. They speak confidence but physiologically vibrate in anxiety. This incoherence generates friction. Energy dissipates internally long before it can express externally. Coherence is the key. In physics, coherence refers to waves moving in phase, amplifying one another. In consciousness, coherence refers to thought, emotion, and action aligned in the same direction. When your declared intention, your emotional state, and your daily behavior are synchronized, your system becomes powerful. Not because the universe is manipulated, but because you are no longer contradicting yourself. Imagine driving with one foot on the accelerator and one on the brake. Most people live this way psychologically. The ancient explorers understood that mastery begins within. They did not chase abundance, they cultivated inner stability. They did not attempt to bend the external world, they refined their perception of it. And through that refinement, their actions became precise. Their timing sharpened. Their presence intensified. Presence is underestimated. When attention is scattered, energy fragments. When attention is disciplined, it concentrates. Concentration enhances learning, enhances skill acquisition, enhances decision-making, enhances creative problem-solving. In a world of distraction, attention itself becomes power. Now consider desire. Desire is not the enemy, it is direction. But when desire arises from deficiency, it carries anxiety. When desire arises from clarity, it carries momentum. The difference lies in identity. If you seek from incompleteness, you cling. If you seek from wholeness, you create. Detachment is misunderstood. It does not mean indifference. It means freedom from desperation. When outcome anxiety dominates, physiology contracts, vision narrows, creativity reduces. When effort is committed, yet identity is not entangled in result, cognitive flexibility increases. Performance improves, resilience strengthens. This is why internal tuning precedes external transformation. When your internal frequency stabilizes, something subtle shifts. You begin to notice opportunities previously ignored. You respond instead of react. You take calculated risks instead of impulsive leaps. You persist without emotional volatility. Externally, it appears as luck. Internally, It is coherence and abundance. What is it really? Not accumulation, expansion. Expansion of awareness, expansion of capacity, expansion of resilience, expansion of contribution. Material resources may follow, but they are secondary expressions of internal state. A fragmented mind can accumulate wealth and still experience poverty. A coherent mind can navigate fluctuation without losing equilibrium. This series is not about mystical promises. It is about disciplined self-engineering. We will explore the architecture of thought, how neural repetition sculpts identity. We will examine breath as a regulatory technology. We will investigate subconscious conditioning, how early imprinting programs adult reaction. We will explore emotional elevation, not as blind positivity, but as biochemical optimization. We will dismantle the myth that science and mysticism oppose each other. They are simply different languages describing layers of the same inquiry. And we will do so lucidly, responsibly, without exaggeration. The coming of something amazing is not spectacle. It is realization. Realization that you are not trapped in unconscious programming. Realization that perception can be trained. Realization that physiology can be regulated. Realization that attention can be disciplined. Realization that alignment transforms interaction. You are not here to control the universe. Control is insecurity disguised as power. You are here to master participation. When thought, emotion, and intention align, behavior becomes efficient. Efficient behavior compounds results. Results reinforce confidence. Confidence stabilizes identity. Identity shapes future action. The loop upgrades. This is conscious evolution. The ancient Indian rishis and munis sat in silence and mapped inner space. Scientists build machines and map outer space. Neuroscientists map brain networks. All are exploring pattern. All are decoding interaction. All are peering into mystery from different angles. And you stand at the intersection. The laboratory is within. The experiment is daily life. The instruments are breath, attention, emotion, intention. The outcome is not fantasy fulfillment, but inner sovereignty. Tune within, and interaction changes. Tune within, and perception clarifies. Tune within, and action sharpens. Tune within, and the outer field responds differently. Not because it is obedient, but because you are coherent. This is the threshold. This is the ignition. This is the beginning of a disciplined journey into the science of consciousness, the architecture of alignment, the mechanics of inner mastery. Something amazing is not coming from outside, it is emerging from within. If you have reached till here, pause for a moment and notice something subtle. The very fact that you stayed, that you listened, that something within these words resonated quietly in you, means something very simple, and at the same time, something very profound. You are a seeker. Not in the dramatic sense that the world often imagines, not someone wandering in search of mystical answers, but in the most natural sense. There is a seed within you, a quiet seed of curiosity, of awareness, of a deeper longing to understand life beyond its surface. Every human being carries this seed, but not everyone notices it, and even fewer take the time to nurture it. A seed does not struggle to become a tree. It does not force itself to blossom. It does not anxiously chase the flower it will someday become. All it waits for, patiently, silently, are the right conditions, the right soil, the right nourishment, the right environment. When those conditions are present, growth becomes inevitable. The seed does not debate, it does not doubt, it simply grows. In the same way, there is a seed of awareness within you. Do not chase the flower that will bloom from that seed. Do not become impatient for the fruit that will eventually appear. Simply keep watering it. Keep tending to it. Make the soil of your consciousness fertile, calm, receptive. When the inner conditions become right, growth will take care of itself. The flowers and the fruits will be an inevitable result. That is the way of nature. That is the way of consciousness. And that is the way of the universe. In the coming episodes of this journey, we will begin to explore simple practices together, gentle meditations, and breath work that gradually bring your inner system into balance. Because breath is not merely air moving in and out of the lungs, breath is the subtle thread that ties your awareness to your body, the quiet bridge between mind and physiology, between the inner world and the outer experience. As you begin to work with it, patiently, consistently, something interesting will begin to happen. You will start noticing small shifts, moments of clarity, unexpected opportunities, subtle alignments in life that almost feel like coincidence. At times, it may even seem too good to be true, as if something mysterious is arranging things in your favor. But over time, you will see it is not coincidence. It is not miracle. It is simply the way the deeper laws of life operate when the inner system becomes coherent. And all that will be required from you is something very simple, yet very powerful. Work on yourself. Tend to your inner garden. If you are willing to do that, patiently, sincerely, the flowers and fruits will bloom in their own time. Some people call these manifestations, but in truth, they are simply the natural fruits of the effort you put into cultivating your inner world. So let us begin this journey together, gently, intelligently, step by step. Love and light to you all, and welcome to the path of inner alignment.